Throughout the assessment task Module A, I successfully created a multimodal text on Fakebook. I chose Fakebook as it is easily accessible, familiar to the age groups of 18 to 50-year-olds, particularly those following the case, and it's conversational. This allows the audience to contribute their own thoughts, thus giving them authority over the text. The purpose of my multimodal task is to inform people about the case and Christina, as well as entertain whilst highlighting an alternate perspective. I further developed my understanding of contemporary possibilities through this task. Whilst undertaking this task, I was exposed to the major role that technology plays in the communication, navigation, and conveying of information. The process of completing the task entailed choosing a character from the podcast serial and providing an alternate perspective on them. At the start of the task, I chose Rabia Chaudhry. I gathered my information from the internet and discovered everything that was needed to know about her. About 2 slides and 1 week later, I realised that I had absolutely no idea how to portray Rabia in another light, and hence I changed characters. From Rabia, I moved on to Christina Gutierrez, Adnan's first lawyer. I chose her because of the controversy of how she defended Adnan in court and saw this as an opportunity to provide another perspective of her. I began researching Christina and was surprised that there were only 3 available pictures of her on the internet. I picked the 2 most suitable photos and displayed them on my multimodal text. Next, I went onto Reddit and read about everyone's opinions and ideas on Christina and figured out if they thought she botched the case. Majority did, however various people argued that she didn't. To get Sarah's perspective of her, I listened to episode 10 of the podcast and considered what Sarah thought about her. I read through serial transcripts as well and took a screen clipping which I inserted into my multimodal text. I was going to do an audio recording of Christina speaking in court, but the website I'm using didn't allow me to embed videos or audio unless it was from YouTube. Sarah spoke about how she believes that Christina failed to pursue Asia as an alibi and how she didn't argue the mismatch of the cell records and Jay's testimony. This led me to YouTube, where I found a video which talked about the new retrial due to the ineffective counsel that Christina provided Adnan. I formed my alternate perspective based off of a Reddit theory I saw which stated that Adnan confessed to Christina and that was why Asia was never pursued as an alibi. The 5 modes of communication were evident in my multimodal task. Visual was presented through pictures of Christina and other serial members, the serial logo, a YouTube video, and transcripts of the podcast. I used the colour blue to be the background of the webpage to mirror an actual Facebook page, so that the audience felt as though they were familiar and could navigate their way around the page. I inserted the serial logo as the colours black and red signify mystery, seriousness, passion, and anger. The salience of the logo draws the audience's attention as it is the first thing they see, urging them to realise the connection between Christina and Serial as well as the story of Adnan. The biggest picture of Christina is the second thing the audience sees due to the size and salience of it. This highlights that the character I have chosen to do is Christina Gutierrez. The vectors direct the audience's eyes to go from the serial logo to the large photo of Christina, then to the small photo of Christina, and finally to the information. The order of acknowledgement helps the audience to piece together who I'm doing, what she's involved in, and what I'm going to be talking about. The spatial aspects that are seen in my multimodal text include the layout, positioning, and organisation of the Fakebook page. I've purposely put the posts on my Fakebook page in chronological order, starting with introducing Serial and finishing with the learning reflection. I chose to do this as it allows the audience to follow along more efficiently and stay on track to what is being presented. The page is structured utilising the conventions of a Facebook profile page. I ensured that everything that was posted relates to the assessment notification and marking criteria. I implemented pictures to break up the amount of reading that is required at a time. Pictures are easy to look at, provide more understanding, and allow the reader time to process. The linguistics are what my assessment is mainly composed of. Each post that is made on the Fakebook page contains writing. I use descriptive language such as golden boy and innocent to describe how some people who knew Adnan saw him as. Half-speed pacing and sing-songing aggression was used in a quote from Sarah Koenig to describe the way Christina defended Adnan in court. Descriptive language was used throughout the writing task to illustrate how myself, Sarah, and others viewed Christina, Adnan, and various other things. An exclamation mark was used in the sentence, Christina didn't botch the case. I included it to express the certainty of the statement and communicate that Christina isn't who everyone perceives her to be. There is alliteration in my multimodal text, a quote from Sarah saying that Christina's questions were detailed and deliberate. I added this quote in to contrast with the description of Christina's defense in the previous quotes of half-speed pacing and sing-songy aggression. The fakebook page is a linear narrative as opposed to chronological to enhance the audience's ability to follow on and gain a deeper understanding as they advance from one post to the next. The tones I used in the text vary from second person, in a little segment before the YouTube video which is formal and emotive, to forceful, colloquial, and philosophical which is when I am providing a theory and trying to convince the audience that my alternate perspective is the truth. When I am acting as Sarah, I write in first person and my tone is persuasive, criticizing and cynical. I am swaying the audience to bandwagon the idea that Christina didn't do the best job on Adnan's case. I judge her methods and how she went about defending Adnan. Finally, I use a rhetorical question in the statement, "It is human of her to make mistakes, but this many?" questioning her ability to represent Adnan at an adequate level and hence influencing the audience's opinions of her. I convey the perspective that Christina Gutierrez is capable of representing Adnan to the best of her ability. I distributed the modes all throughout my assessment task to show this, and using the modes to express meaning of Christina and how she does her job. Overall, this task has allowed me to engage my own multimodal text whilst also using other ones on the internet to research my information. I used my time on this assessment wisely, starting on it as soon as I got it and then progressively working on it bit by bit until the due date. I've realised that the 5 modes of communication are actively in our everyday lives, helping us to convey meaning from all forms of text. Collectively, I have deepened my understanding on contemporary possibilities and technology in our modern day society. Thank you.